Well, that is Luke Cage done.
Yep. That was 13 hours of goodness. Yeah. Good final episode. Good.
It was a good...
Good fisticuffs.
Actually, I say a good final episode. I feel like all the action happened in the first quarter or something, and then it was all just a bit slow after that.
It was a bit,
I know
actually.
there's obviously stuff that needed to be wrapped up, but it didn't really feel like...
There was quite a lot of wrapping
climax.
up.
It felt like the climax happened way too early.
Yeah, that. I agree with that. There was a lot of wrapping up, wasn't there? But it does leave it interestingly open. We got some good future.
Yeah,
which I'm quite excited by. It's got to, presumably though, if Luke Cage, because Luke Cage has now been shipped off to prison because they found out he's the guy who escaped from prison.
Yeah, and it would be nice if they told us how much time he's got left, but also they did then find those files in the barber shop, and they're going to give them to Daredevil to take into court.
Yeah, and presumably that's...
Foggy Nelson, I mean.
Yeah, that's going to be a good premise.
I wonder if we'll actually see that.
I really hope we see that. Because that'd be amazing. That would be a good first few episodes of The Defenders.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. That would pull them together in a really interesting way.
I wonder how they'll pull Jessica Jones into it.
Her and Luke Cage had a thing.
Yeah.
So they know each other. That's easy enough.
Night Nurse knows her.
That's true.
And people know her. People know her as that who snapped that guy's neck.
That's true. She was in the news. And Ting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
One thing that's been bothering me about this whole series is that Luke Cage has been very public with a lot of things. There have been a fair few points where he's been on telly, and at no point have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. turned up when that is what they do in the TV show.
Yeah,
Every now and then they find out about somebody who's a bit special in some way.
And chase them down, find out about them, and assess their threat level.
Yeah.
It's a good point. Feels like they should have found out about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I have no excuse for that. I was really trying to hand-wavy that. I was really trying to headcanon something there. They're busy.
Yeah, it's a bit of a flaw. Unless we see Luke Cage turn up in the next couple of episodes, but that would if S.H.I.E.L.D., but that wouldn't really make any sense given that he's gone to prison.
Now in prison. Yeah, good point. It's it's weird. Depends what they do with the Defenders.
Yeah.
It might make sense. But I still wanted to find out how the bit of flashback we got of Luke leaving prison connects to meeting Jessica Jones. Because there's a big gap there.
Yeah, that's true.
And he ends up in New York with Reva, and then Reva goes missing.
I think there may have been a few things where he
He marries Reva.
I think he told Jessica Jones a few things of what happened, and I think that if you were to rewatch some of those episodes, you would actually see all the missing bits.
That's maybe true. Yeah.
I mean, what happened when he got out of prison was he got together with Reva, married her,
moved to New York.
Yeah, I assume. Moved to New York and lived with her.
But we don't...
That's the only dot that really is to connect there.
Yeah.
There's stuff that he said which then goes forward
sense.
to that, where she went missing and turned up dead.
That's true, yeah.
And
he found out about the bus driver and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and then him opening a bar, it's not really a big plot, is it? It's not interesting.
That's true. Yeah, maybe rewatching Jessica Jones would give us the connection there.
Yeah.
But I want to know how Reva connects to the information that she has on both Luke Cage's process and on whatever information she had about Kilgrave that they found out about, and where the information about his experiments, the experiments that were done on Kilgrave, came from, and that kind of thing. I want to connect those dots. I feel like that won't happen at all, which is a bit weird. I'd be disappointed if we don't get that connection and find out what's going on.
Sometimes it's nice to leave things to the imagination.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not against it, but I'm curious, and it feels like something that could be answered easily.
Yeah.
Rather than imagining what might have been, because imagining what goes on next after a story, like at the end of The Matrix or something, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
Trying to hand-wavy and headcanon and wiggle around what happened to connect two sections of story together is much less good.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that explained in a bit more detail, even if it's just a 2-minute flashback scene. I don't want a whole episode of flashback, even just a conversation between two people to say, and this is what happened and that's how I ended up there.
Yeah.
That would be a nice way of just connecting stuff and then going, oh, that's it.
So we've done this one now. We've done Luke Cage. What are we expecting from the next one, which I believe to be Iron Fist?
I'm more excited by Iron Fist than I was for this one.
Yeah.
For my money, Luke Cage has probably been the weakest of the four we've seen.
I would say so. Of the 3 we've seen so far.
4 if you include Luke Cage.
Oh, okay.
Which we have seen.
Yeah, I would say this one is the weakest, but it's still amazing.
It's still very good. It was great fun. Really enjoyed it.
Which then brings me to the point of how things can go downhill but still be incredible in their own right. Like I was saying the other day about Red Dwarf to you.
Oh, yeah.
Off-air.
Last season is not good.
How it's not as good as it was.
Ugh, it's not even very good.
No, it is. It is good. It's just not as good as it was. You're comparing it to other Red Dwarf.
No, I'm comparing it to other TV.
If you're no, it's different to everything.
Only just okay, frankly. The last season was okay. The last season before this one was fairly good. Mm-hmm. This one's only just okay. If it comes on, I'll keep watching it, but I'm not rewatching any of the 2 episodes I've seen so far.
But this is the thing.
They were so derivative.
This is a show that has either gone downhill or stood still. It's hard to tell the difference. But it's not it's still really good. It's just not as good as it used to be, and so you're making noises like,
It wasn't good.
Whereas this one, Luke Cage, is not as good as the other ones. But the difference is, Luke Cage is actually bringing something new to the table because it is a new thing, even though...
And Red Dwarf is bringing nothing new to the table.
Well, it's because Red Dwarf is still just one show. This one is, in some ways, a spin-off show. In a lot of ways, a spin-off show.
Yeah, that's true.
And it has worked.
Yeah, I suppose so. But it's better than Red Dwarf.
Well, I'm not comparing the two.
No, I am, and it's better than Red Dwarf currently is, because Red Dwarf now is rubbish, frankly. It used to be original. It used to have new ideas. It used to be very clever. It used to be not like anything we've seen before. Uh-huh. And now it's the 2 episodes I've seen. The first one was Tika to Ride, an episode that Red Dwarf had already done, where they went back in time and fixed the past in an alternate version of past history, combined with Star Trek First Contact. And then the second episode was very, very similar to Nanaki and Epideme, the 2 episodes where Lister was really, really ill with viruses and stuff, and they ended up curing him, shock horror, by the end of the episode. And it was not very interesting and really quite boring. Oh, it was also very similar to the body swapping episode they had where they ended up tricking Crichton into chloroforming each other and then swapping minds with each other's bodies. That came up in the most recent episode as well, and it was just...
not really, but okay.
Really, and it was derivative enough that it was predictable, and Red Dwarf's not been predictable before.
Well, what I'm saying is Red Dwarf has gone downhill, but it's still in the way that it was in the way that it was before. It is still that much better than, or that much different to all the other shows that are out there.
No, it's gone so far downhill, it's bad now.
No, it hasn't. You weren't even saying that when we started this conversation.
Yeah, now I am, because now I've talked about it some more. I really don't. It is only okay. That is the best I will say for it. Whereas Red Dwarf used to be the best thing ever. Now it's only okay. Now it's passable. If I woke up halfway through an episode, I would probably watch it to the end. But I might not.
It's whether you change your tone like midway through an argument.
If I woke up halfway through an episode of Luke Cage, I probably would watch it to the end. If I woke up halfway through an episode of Red Dwarf, I don't know if I would.
So you just changed in 2 sentences.
I don't know if I would. I'm not certain I would. That's my point. It's not horrible, but it's certainly got nothing that makes me interested in staying and watching it through. If I woke up and I saw a new episode that I hadn't seen yet, I'd probably just out of sheer curiosity watch it to the end.
Okay, well, I feel like you're now going on a bit.
I am. Whereas if I saw an old episode, I would stay and watch it right to the end. Because... Is
that Luke Cage?
All right, talk about Luke Cage. Red Dwarf was great, and now it's bad.
So
Luke Cage was great.
Next one we have is Iron Fist. Now, my concern with Iron Fist is... With the 3 that we've had so far, the three shows I'm talking about, not under those 4 seasons, they've all been somewhat low budget. Not that they've looked low budget in any way, but there's been no big special effects. It's just been good stuntmen, good walls falling apart, and stuff like that.
It was very realistic.
Looks seamless, and it doesn't look like it cost a lot. There's no computer graphics to it. Now, Iron Fist is going to be quite similar to Doctor Strange, in that there's a lot of magic involved. There's going to be a few bits like that.
There's going to be leaving New York involved, almost certainly.
Well, we had that briefly in this.
Very briefly. And they went to Georgia.
So it's going to have to spend a bit more money on special effects. What are those special effects going to look like?
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't spend that much money, if it's got the same budget as these, they're going to have to sacrifice something. It's either going to be the special effects, or it's going to be the class of actors. It's going to be some of the, the finer details. We don't know what it's going to be.
Well, apart from David Tennant, it's not like they've had any major actors so far.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
He wasn't major before.
He was.
I don't think he was.
He's done a lot of things.
He's done a lot of things, but I'd never heard of him before.
Well, that's because you're in this circle.
Yeah, maybe. Vincent D'Onofrio is not as big a name as David Tennant is these days.
No.
Well, actually, Vincent D'Onofrio might be as big a name now, but before he was cast in Daredevil, he wasn't as big a name as David Tennant was before he was cast in Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
So he's been the biggest as David Tennant, but everyone else has been largely, unknowns.
Unknown. Yeah,
there was that girl who was in Breaking Bad for a couple of episodes.
That guy who was in Stardust.
That guy who was in Stardust. One of my favourite movies of all time, actually. And then there was Luke Cage, who's that guy in The Thing, which I've never heard of or seen.
That guy from Jessica Jones.
That guy from Jessica Jones, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of... Oh, and then there's the woman who was in that one Star Trek.
Oh, no, it's that guy from The Walking Dead.
Which one was
Shane.
that guy from Walking Dead?
Shane from The Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah, Shane from The Walking Dead. Yeah, of course. Yeah, Punisher.
Yeah. There's a lot of people from places.
From The Thing, rather than whose name I know.
Apart from David Tennant and maybe Vincent
that guy
D'Onofrio.
from Doctor Who.
No, that guy there. That David Tennant.
He's Doctor Who, though, isn't he?
No, but people know him.
He's done enough.
You're not a fan of Broadchurch. If you were, you'd be a big fan of Broadchurch because there's no mid-ground. And so people then know him in multiple roles quite well.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which means that you know him. Like Nicolas Cage is always Nicolas Cage.
He's Nicolas Cage doing his Nicolas Cage.
He's not that guy from whatever.
That's true.
Daniel Radcliffe has only recently become
not
Daniel
Harry Potter.
Radcliffe.
That's true. I think he's going to be Harry Potter in my head for a long, long time.
It's going to take some time, yeah.
No, I'm not even a huge Harry Potter fan.
He needs to land some much bigger roles.
Yeah.
But he's getting there.
Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah.
He's Aragorn, and he's always going to be Aragorn.
Yeah, he is.
Like, who's that guy? Oh, it's that guy who's Aragorn.
So, Elijah Wood has somehow managed to...
He's Frodo.
I don't know, but people know him as Elijah Wood.
I'm pretty sure he's Frodo.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Sean Astin, or Astin, or whatever. He's Sean Astin, actually, somehow. Not quite sure how. Possibly because he was in the Goonies. Sean Bean has always been Sean Bean.
Yes.
Except it's pronounced Scene Bean.
Wait, he was the guy who died in that film. That's what people call him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Sean. Also, I believe that Sean Bean dies in all movies because it's the universe correcting for the fact his name should rhyme. But it doesn't.
You make it sound like you made that up.
I did make that up.
You did not write that.
Shut up.
I read that online before.
Anyway, a lot of people say his name should be Scene Bean, but I think his name should be Sean Bourne. So there you go.
I believe that you also didn't write that.
I did come up with that one, actually. No, I've never heard anyone other than me before me say that his name should be Sean Bourne. I've heard people say Scene Bean. Never heard anyone say Sean Bourne.
Sure.
Obviously, if he was the best at something, that would be the Sean Bourne supremacy. If he had like kids and his name lived on after his death, that would be the Sean Bourne legacy.
I think we're going too far.
And I'm going to do another joke, or else that's my Sean Bourne ultimatum.
Stop right there. I'll throw that bottle open right at you.
Right, there's still one more movie.
I will do it.
What's the other Bourne movie?
Don't test me. I will do it.
What's the other Bourne movie?
You know what? Actually, I can just turn you right down. I will turn you down.
What's the other Bourne movie?
Here we go. Okay, that's Ross off. So that was Luke Cage. I really enjoyed it. Ross, what did you think? Oh, sorry. Sorry, I can't hear you. Do you want some volume? Okay, that's some volume. How did that?
What was the other Bourne film?
So, sorry, you're still a bit quiet. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that better?
I don't know if you can hear me, listeners, but I'm just Googling what all the Bourne films are.
And that is Ross off. Okay, well, I don't know if I'm going to let him in before the end of the episode. You might just hear him shouting across the room, but we have separate mics. So I really enjoyed Luke Cage. It may have been the lower of the 4 seasons we've had so far, but I'm also really excited for Iron Fist. Yeah, so, well, we're getting close to the 2-hour mark, so I guess I better wrap it up. I've been Beer, Pizza and a Movie.
If didn't know who he was,
and, well, I don't know when it is that you're going to actually catch the next episode of me, and whoever my guest will be that week, I don't know. I'm actually going travelling for a month, so I'm going to have a great time. I say that, I don't know. Yeah, well, that's the end of that. I had a great time. Catch us on Twitter, Beer, Pizza and a Movie. And, yeah, I'll catch you next week. Bye!